Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about retinoids. I know I've made a retinoid video before, but you know what, this video I'm going to be making for 25-year-old and above. If you're below that, hear me out. If you're below that, yes, you can follow this video as a guide to be, getting into retinoids and all of that, but this is mainly for 25-year-old and above, because I feel like we should get into retinoids now, because I myself am 25-year-old and beyond and over and above, and so it's high time that we start with retinoid, right? But again, let's say if you're below that, definitely use it. It's your wish. But if you've got a skin condition that needs to be overlooked by a dermatologist, please do that, because if something goes wrong, I'll delete your comment that says, after watching this video, my skin went blah blah blah. I'm deleting that. I'm reporting that because I told you not to do it, but you're doing it. Anyway, what exactly is a retinoid? Retinoid is an umbrella term for vitamin A derivative. And what is a vitamin A derivative? Vitamin A derivative is actually retinoid. I just said it. I don't know why am I doing this. It's responsible for skin cell turnover, boosting collagen, reducing fine lines, helping fight acne marks, helping fight acne. What else? When I say hyperpigmentation, I mean melasma, post-inflammatory erythema, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Now, types of hyperpigmentation, I can definitely go into depth, but you know what? This video is not about that. Here's the catch. Here's what I've written in my notes. In short, retinoids are one of the most powerful ingredients for anti-aging and acne treatment. But here's the catch. Not all retinoids are the same. Some of them are prescription strength, some of them are over-the-counter. Now, after watching this video, wait, hold on, I'm triggered now because the sound outside. So here's the catch. Not all retinoids are the same. After watching this video, I know that you are a beginner or an intermediate. I do not want you to be going to the pharmacy and getting a prescription grade tretinoin or prescription grade retinoid. I want you to be starting somewhere with retinol or retinal. Now, what is a retinol? What is a retinal? What is a tretinoin? What is a retinal palmitate? What is my hands? What is adapalene? We're going to talk about this, okay? So, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to confuse you. We're only going to be talking about things that you might want to use. So, we've got retinol. We've got retinal, also known as retinaldehyde. Then we've got retinoic acid, also known as tretinoin. Now, tretinoin is actually prescription. Then we've also got adapalene, also known as differin, used to be prescription, now it's over the counter. If you have acne, then differin is something that you might want to look into. But then again, if you have acne, you might want to go to a dermatologist and not watch this video. Also got retinal palmitate, also known as retinal esters. Now, if you've got very sensitive skin, something that gets very red and starts peeling and hurting, and barrier gets broken down easily, then you might want to start with retinal esters or retinal palmitate, because they are gentlest, least effective, good for sensitive skin, good for complete beginners, but again, do not expect dramatic results. Then we can go into retinol. Retinol is a point where most people are at the moment. I personally still do use retinol here and there. So retinol is the most common over-the-counter retinoid. It is weaker than retinal, which is going to be the next point, but it is very effective and you get a lot of strength in it. So based on where you're starting, you can start with, let's say, 0.1 to 0.01 or 0.5, 0.6, wherever you feel you're standing. If you feel like you've already crossed that, then go ahead with retinal. Completely okay. Retinal, on the other hand, it is powerful than retinol, but a little less powerful than tretinoin, and it has lesser side effects than tretinoin. You will see results, but again, if you're a beginner or an intermediate, start with retinol. if you're somebody with sensitive skin, start with retinal palmitate. If you're somebody who's already like, in the moderate intermediate level and you feel like, retinol is not doing much for you, then go with retinol. If you want to go into adapalene and retinoic acid like tretinoin, definitely consult a dermatologist for it, because this is not a medical advice. Now that we've gotten to know what a retinoid is, the types of retinoids, and like, what I would want you to use, again, at the end of the day, after watching this video, if you still want to go and get your tretinoin, go ahead and do it, but do not blame me. If you come over and comment things like, I watched your video and my skin got bad, girly pup, man, if you're watching, I'm gonna delete your comment, because I clearly told you not to get a prescription grade and to go to your dermatologist. Now, rant over. Let's talk about the 4 phases. We've got 4 phases, and these phases, I feel like I am the creator, but if there's a creator, well, kudos to you, creator, but then I feel like I created it, so let's stay at that. When I say 4 phases, it includes 8 weeks. The first 2 phases will be week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, phase 2, week 5, week 6, phase 3, and week 7 and week 8 will be phase 4. So for phase 1, what I usually ask my clients to do, and it usually works for them because it worked for me. It worked for so many people. So I am loving these phases, okay? So week 1, week 2, aka phase 1, we're going to be using retinol, retinal, whatever works for you, or different if you're using it, or retinal palmitate once a week. Let's say Sunday. You're doing proper skincare. Morning, you're using your face wash, moisturizer, SPF, your makeup, whatever. At night, you do a quick double cleanse, and then, you apply your moisturizer and you use your retinoid. Phase 2, you use it twice a week. So you use it on a Sunday and a Thursday. Same routine, okay? Like, face wash, moisturizer, SPF, at night, double cleanse, retinoid, and moisturizer. So talking about phase 3, right? What I usually do with my clients is I do a follow-up check-in. I check in with them. And then here are the questions that I usually ask them. Pictures of their face, changes that they've observed, anything bad that they feel has happened in these 4-week period. But because you're not my client yet, what you can do is go to a mirror, check how's your skin doing. Do you feel there's something bad that's happened? Like, maybe you're breaking out more, your hyperpigmentation has gotten darker, you're peeling from areas like, I tend to peel a lot here and around my nose, and, this portion of my face tends to stay red most of the times, which is a sign of barrier damage. Are you noticing all of that? Little things, you might want to write it in your diary or make a mental note of it. And then in week 3, based on that, we're going to either increase the amount of times you're applying, that is, make it 3 times a week, or keep it at 2 weeks and focus on barrier repair. Because your skin needs to undergo a process called retinization, where the retinoid is actually, your skin is actually getting used to the retinoid that you're using. So I do not want to seize that, and your skin will be like, oh my god, I had something on my skin and suddenly it's not there anymore. I do not want to go yo-yo. So it's either you use it 3 times a week, or you still use it 2 times a week, but on the other days, you're focusing a lot on moisturization, focusing a lot on, covering that bit up with maybe Vaseline, petrolatum, whatever, and, focusing a lot on barrier repair and hydration. And then again, hitting 2 days a week of retinoids. Now, let's imagine you went to phase 3 with 3 times a week. In phase 4, you're still going to do 3 times a week. Why? It's because you want to ensure that your skin is used to the strength of retinoid, because consistency over strength. So what happens at the end of phase 4? At the end of phase 4, if you feel like you can go a bit higher on the strength with retinoids, maybe you can go from, let's say, 0.1 to 0.3, go ahead, start these 4 phases again. If you're like me, who feels like, if they've not emptied their bottle, they do not want to go to another phase. So I generally tend to continue the fourth phase for another 2 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on when I empty the bottle. If you feel like your skin hasn't done much and your skin still feels sensitive, you can still work on barrier repair while being in the same strength. Now, this is just an example method that I tend to use with my clients. Of course, I do not ask everyone to, phase 1, you're going to use it twice, phase 2, you're going to use it thrice, blah, blah, blah. No, I do not do that. I get their medical history, check their skin health, all of that, and based on that, I make personalized plans. For a lot of people, I tend to incorporate more ingredients, like let's say lactic acid or glycolic acid, based on their skin type and skin needs and skin goals. But because this video is only about retinoids, I'm only talking about retinoids. Of course, if you feel like you're more on an intermediate level, then you can also add something like lactic acid in the middle, azelaic acid, more vitamin C in the morning. Definitely do that. But again, the only purpose of this video is to talk about retinoids. I do not want you guys to mess up your skin barrier. Now, a few disclaimers. I've made a note. Of course, start off slow. Phase 1, phase 2, we're just doing it once, twice. You're only using it at night. If you feel like your skin is too sensitive, you're using a sandwich method, which basically means double cleansing. Apply a moisturizer, wait it out, apply a layer of retinol, whatever you want to use, and then apply another layer of moisturizer. In the morning, definitely use a sunscreen because your skin tends to be very sensitive. You do not want to damage your skin. And be patient. Yeah, this is something that I would really like to emphasize. You need to be very patient when it comes to retinoids. You will not see results in, let's say, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Yes, you might see a bit of skin lightening, your skin feels a bit better in texture, but then that's it. If you want to see long-term results like reducing fine lines, your acne marks, hyperpigmentation, you need to work it out. You might not see results now, but let's say a year down the line, when you look back at your before pictures, you will actually notice that you've actually come a far way, whatever. Extra tips and warnings: retinoids are not safe for pregnancy and breastfeeding. Check with your doctor first before using any of it. And if you feel the need to, use an active, go for azelaic acid again. You can do phase 4, but with azelaic acid. Do not exfoliate a lot when you're on retinoids because your skin is already sensitive. Instead, what I suggest my clients is to use ingredients like glycerin, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, centella, etc., because these are hydrating ingredients and actually goes really well with retinoids. The last point that I would like to repeat is consistency over strength, consistency over intensity. I do not want you to watch this video, go to the store and get a tretinoin and expect results, because week 1 your skin will fall off. We do not want that. We really do not want that. We want slow and steady results with such a potent ingredient. Anyway, that's a wrap on retinoids. I hope you like this video, the format of the video, and how I talked about the 4 phases, because that's what I use with my clients. In case you want to work with me, definitely leave me an email or message, or message me on Instagram or anything, whatever you want to. If you do not want to work with me, that's still fine. You can still watch my videos here. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Besos, bye!